In light of the news this week of the mosque being set on fire and some disturbing news reports, it's time that we address Islamophobia in Ireland today. Here, a man from Sudan is attempting to behead an Irish man and he took away his eyesight for good. I'm personally fearful of that. A few years ago, multiple Irish children were stabbed by an Arab who came to Ireland illegally. He stabbed an Irish child in the heart, and she's now permanently disabled, unable to wash herself, go to the toilet, or feed herself. And this was all supported and endorsed by Irish politicians, and I personally am fearful of that. An ISIS supporter cried Allahu Akbar and stabbed a member of the Garda. I'm fearful of that. Nearly 10 years ago, a Muslim picked up two gay Irish men and decapitated them. I'm fearful of that. Now, you might say, not all Muslims are bad. I'm sure that is statistically true, and I will be friendly to Muslims when I meet them on the street. I'm always friendly to Muslims. I greet them in Arabic during Eid. But what about the Islamic leadership in Ireland? Like, what do they have to say about this? Well, shortly after the mosque was set on fire on Talbot Street, the leader of the Islamic community in Ireland, let's call him Sheikh Dr. Umar al-Qadadri. He's not a real doctor. I'm fearful of people who pretend to be doctors. He's not a real doctor. This is strange. So this fake doctor, or liar as we like to call him, blamed the far right. And we all know far right is coded for working class Irish person. Like, repeatedly when working class people have protests, they're repeatedly referred to as far right. So he blamed the far right. The person who set fire to that mosque was from Iran. He was deeply traumatized by the Islamic regime, and he attacked his mosque. But this fake doctor, along with many Irish politicians on the left, from People for Profit, Social Democrats, they all promoted this lie that it was the local Irish people who attacked this mosque. So I think we should be fearful of fake, scammy doctors falsely accusing Irish people of crimes. And of course, he in his post, seems like he's demanding some kind of control on his speech or more regulations on Irish people. No amount of hate speech is going to stop someone from carrying out an attack on a mosque. It's just nonsense, right? He's a fake doctor. He falsely accusing Irish people of things, and as we're going to see, he has a long history of this kind of fearful behaviour. Just before the mosque was set on fire, he's been caught sharing posts supporting the Moroccans who were rioting in Holland. So football. There was a football match. They rioted. They threw sticks, stones, and they attacked the police, which is why the Dutch police here are beating them. So he's encouraging riots in our country. I am fearful of that. Here he is here promoting conspiracy theorist, racist, and Islamist Mehdi Hassan. Some mad conspiracy theory about Elon Musk being an anti-immigrant film. Like, it's not an anti-immigrant film. The people who were shot in that movie were gang rapists. Like, there's loads of, like, throughout Western history, we have movies where there's a crime against women and some man goes on a vigilante killing spree against criminals. It's just a movie. It's entertainment. It's very common in our culture. And here they are promoting conspiracy theories and riots. I'm fearful of that. So, anytime, again, pointing out, here's an example where he's referring to East Wall protesters as far-right activists. I mean, we were protesting against buildings that were illegally built, and everything we said about the IPAS centres were true. There's piles of Islamic extremists in them, and nobody was attacked during those protests. We never rioted. There was no riots until like a long period of time of the government funding thugs to attack people. So he's referring to working class people as far right activists. This is what we mean. Like, the phrase far right activist is just a code for working class person protesting against something that's against their interests. And but if you accuse someone of being a far right activist or being far right, it implies they're a criminal. And the police should do something about it, and there should be laws and restrictions. For example, I hate Nazis. I would like the government to actively stop the Nazi movement from doing criminal activities in our country, right? I'm accurately referencing a group of people who are associated with crime. That's normal, right? But he is constantly associating working class people with criminal activity when there is none, which is a danger to our society, because people have turned up with these protests with weapons and attacked the protesters. I'm fearful of that. He supports regime change in the US and Israel. What? Does he support assassinating Donald Trump? Like, what regime change do you want in Israel? They're having elections in October. They're a democracy. What you want? It's insane. He is... and in 2009, he's made videos supporting Hamas. And he backpedals on this and says, I didn't know about Hamas back then. You're an Islamic leader. You should know who's a terrorist, who's not a terrorist. I'm a Christian, and, like... I'm very vocal about being brutal against paedophile priests. Like, it's not hard to condemn people from your community who commit crimes. In every society, people commit crimes, right? We wouldn't have a problem with the Islamic community if they had a leader that condemned terrorism crimes that Muslims commit, but they don't. Look here. Those who attacked innocent people at Bondi Beach are no different from the IDF soldiers who killed innocent civilians in Gaza. Both represent the same moral failure. No! You're actually implying it's okay to murder Jews. Jews in Australia have nothing to do with the IDF or Israel. Like, stop associating Jews with the IDF. That's extremely racist, man. He's constantly promoting this racist propaganda. And there is no moral equivalence. You can't... Like, we have to tell Muslims every day, you can't just keep murdering people anytime you feel like it. No comparison between murdering people on a beach and just the Gazan war. It is against international law to use civilians as human shields. It's against international law to have child soldiers. It's Hamas's responsibility. They are the ones who are legally coupled for that. In a war, civilians get killed. It's unfortunate, but war is a bad thing. And I'm telling Muslims across the world, stop promoting war, jihad, Sharia and Intifada. We will not accept it. We are reasonable to be fearful of them. It's absolutely reasonable. They're constantly, when I say they, this Islamic leader, specifically the Islamic community in Ireland, constantly promoting violence, committing violence, promoting racism and hatred in our country. I'm going to present a peace offering to Irish Muslims. Protest and get rid of your Islamic leadership. You can't promote terrorism in our country. You cannot commit acts of terrorism in our country. We will organise and take our country back and put you people in jail. We will not accept it. So any Muslim who wants to live in our country, you must be peaceful and stop scaring the bejesus out of us. Looking at the live chat. Okay, so some lefties slagging me off for being assaulted. Like, this is an example what Islamic supporters are like. He's insulting me because I was assaulted during a protest. During the fuel protests, there was only one recorded violent incident, and I was hospitalized. This is what the left are like. You know, be fearful of radical Islam, the left, and the Nazi movement. Look, and he's trying to dox me in my workplace. It's like, yeah, turn up to that place and protest against me. See what happens to you, man. We're armed to the teeth. Well, I mean, there's people in the chat. They're talking about a possible civil war brewing. The jihad has already started. It's already here. And my first choice is Irish people organising democratically and using the legitimate tools of the state to protect us from Islamic terrorism. Anyone who promotes Hezbollah or Hamas, such as People for Profit, Sinn Féin and the Social Democrats, that's illegal under the Terror Act of 2003. We still have a political and legal system to use. We need to organise and take over that political and legal system because Ireland belongs to the Irish, and the preamble of the Constitution clearly states that we are a Christian nation, and my interpretation of the Troubles and the Good Friday Agreement is that we don't want a civil war. We need to do what we can to avert a civil war. But as people in the chat are saying there, well, the jihad has already begun. The Intifada was declared in 2003. Since then, as I referenced a few of them, many violent occasions against Irish people from the Islamic community against Irish people. This is all being promoted by the Irish government, the media, the public sector, all our politicians. Not a single politician organising against the jihad against Irish people. So while I want to avoid a civil war, it is somewhat inevitable that, like we saw today, somebody set fire to a mosque. I think someone else smashed up a business that is allegedly associated with some kind of Islamic money laundering gang. I don't know. I didn't have time to investigate that story. We don't want violence on the streets. We want to organise democratically. But as a security analyst, I have to tell you that if you remove people's democratic rights, which has happened in Ireland, the native population, under the Indigenous Rights Act of UN, have a right to respond, and ideally people shouldn't respond violently, but there is going to be there's going to be more riots. None of these issues I've brought up have been addressed. There's going to be more riots, and I would like to avoid riots by organising democratically. And as I'm saying to the Islamic community, come out, protest, and get rid of your Islamic leadership who are promoting jihad, the Intifada, and Sharia. Non-Christians can live in a Christian nation. Christian nations, historically, are the most secular. It's the only way you can live in a secular society is when Christians are in charge. And we are, of course, a Christian nation, as stated by our patriarch, St. Patrick. So, Aaron Gabra.